Have you ever wondered why some people seem to manifest their dreams effortlessly, while others struggle for years with the same goals, doing all the right things, visualizing, affirming, taking action, yet nothing seems to change? What if I told you that the secret has nothing to do with how many hours you spend meditating during the day, or how perfectly you craft your vision board? The real game changer happens in those precious moments right before you drift off to sleep, in a window of time. So brief yet so powerful that most people completely waste it every single night. Think about it for a moment. What's the last thing that goes through your mind before sleep takes over? For most people, it's worry about tomorrow's meeting, replaying an argument from earlier, scrolling through social media, or simply collapsing into bed completely exhausted. Has this ever happened to you? You spend your entire day trying to stay positive, working on your mindset, visualizing your goals, but then you fall asleep stressed, anxious, or mentally drained. And here's what most people don't realize: that final frequency you transmit as you're falling asleep is the one your subconscious mind will work with for the next 8 hours. But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the world. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. Now, let me share something that Joseph Murphy discovered decades ago, something that neuroscience is only now beginning to confirm. There's a sacred window of opportunity that opens every single night, a brief transition period between your waking consciousness and deep sleep. In this liminal space, something extraordinary happens. Your critical mind, that inner skeptic that filters and judges everything, completely switches off. Your conscious defenses drop, and in that moment, your subconscious mind becomes incredibly receptive, like fertile soil, ready to accept whatever seeds you plant. This isn't just spiritual philosophy, this is how your brain actually works. During this hypnagogic state, your brainwaves shift from beta to alpha and theta, the same frequencies accessed during deep meditation or hypnosis. Your subconscious doesn't question, doesn't analyze, doesn't resist. It simply accepts and begins to reorganize your internal programming based on whatever you're impressing upon it. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to discover might completely transform not just how you sleep, but how you wake up and experience reality itself. The tragedy is that most people are programming themselves for limitation, scarcity, and stress during this golden window without even realizing it. They're transmitting frequencies of fear, worry, and exhaustion for 8 hours straight, then wondering why they wake up feeling the same way, attracting the same circumstances, living the same reality day after day. But what if you could hijack this process? What if you could deliberately choose the frequency you transmit during those final moments before sleep, and maintain it throughout the entire night while your subconscious does its deepest work? Here's the thing that most personal development experts won't tell you. It doesn't matter how many positive affirmations you repeat during the day if you're undoing all that work in the final minutes before sleep. Your subconscious mind is like a recording device that never stops, and whatever signal it receives in those last moments before you drift off becomes the dominant frequency it broadcasts throughout the night. Imagine spending 8 hours every single night transmitting worry, stress, financial anxiety, or relationship problems. Your subconscious doesn't judge whether these thoughts are true or false. It simply accepts them as instructions and begins reorganizing your neural pathways, your energy field, even your cellular biology to match that frequency. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because we explore these deep transformation techniques regularly. This is where people who are serious about change come to find practices that actually work. This is the hidden truth behind why so many people feel stuck in repetitive patterns. They wake up tired even after a full night's sleep. They face the same challenges year after year. They attract similar circumstances and people into their lives. It's not bad luck or a lack of effort. It's the inevitable result of unconsciously programming their subconscious mind with limitation every single night. The cycle perpetuates itself because most people don't even realize they're doing it. They think sleep is just a passive state where nothing important happens. But the reality is that sleep is when your deepest transformation either occurs or gets sabotaged. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic because there's a specific practice that can completely reverse this pattern. Joseph Murphy wrote extensively about the power of impressing the subconscious mind before sleep, but what he discovered goes far beyond simple positive thinking. There's a precise protocol, a deliberate process that, when followed with absolute consistency, creates what can only be described as a reorganization of reality itself. This isn't about hoping or wishing. It's about understanding how your subconscious mind actually operates and working with its natural mechanisms. The key lies in a 21-day commitment, not 20 days, not whenever you remember to do it, but 21 consecutive nights without exception. Why this specific time frame? Because your subconscious mind needs repetition and consistency to accept new programming as truth. During the first week, your logical mind will resist. It will tell you nothing is changing, that this is a waste of time, that you should just go to sleep normally. This resistance is actually a sign that something is working. Your old programming is fighting to maintain itself. But if you push through this initial resistance, something remarkable begins to happen during the second week. Small synchronicities appear, subtle shifts in your perception emerge. Things that used to bother you suddenly don't have the same emotional charge. Opportunities that were always there but invisible to you start becoming noticeable. The real magic, though, happens in the third week. This is when your subconscious finally surrenders to the new frequency. The neural pathways have been reinforced enough times that the new pattern becomes automatic. Your energy field has been recalibrated night after night, and your external reality begins reflecting this internal transformation in ways that might shock you. The problem is that most people quit somewhere between day 15 and 18. They get impatient. They don't see dramatic results fast enough. They miss one night and think they can just pick up where they left off. But here's what they don't understand. You have to complete the full cycle for the transformation to lock in at the subconscious level. This is the journey that separates those who occasionally manifest from those who live in a constant state of manifestation. The difference isn't talent or luck. It's commitment to a process that works with the actual mechanics of how your mind operates. Every decision you make about how you use those final moments before sleep is either building your dream reality or reinforcing your current limitations. There's no neutral ground. You're always programming something. Write in the comments, "I commit to the 21 days, if this resonates with you and you're ready to experience what happens when you take control of your most powerful programming window. What I'm about to share with you is based on observing hundreds of people go through this process, and there's a pattern that emerges so consistently it's almost predictable. The journey through these 21 days isn't linear. It's more like climbing a mountain where the terrain changes dramatically as you ascend. Understanding what to expect at each stage is crucial because without this knowledge, most people interpret their experience completely wrong and abandon the practice right before their breakthrough moment. During the first 7 days, something counterintuitive happens. Instead of feeling immediate relief or seeing instant results, many people actually experience increased mental resistance. Your logical mind, that part of you that's been running the show for years, suddenly realizes it's being replaced. It will throw everything at you: doubt, skepticism, impatience, even physical restlessness right before bed. You might find yourself thinking, "This is stupid, nothing's happening, I'm wasting my time." This is actually the most encouraging sign possible, because it means you're disrupting old patterns. The resistance isn't a sign of failure. It's proof that transformation has begun at the deepest level. Your subconscious programming doesn't want to change because change feels like death to the familiar patterns that have kept you safe, even if those patterns have also kept you stuck. But here's where it gets fascinating. Around day 8 or 9, assuming you haven't given up, something shifts. The resistance doesn't disappear completely, but it softens. And then you start noticing things, small things that your old mindset would have dismissed as random coincidence. Maybe someone mentions exactly what you've been thinking about. Perhaps an unexpected opportunity appears, nothing life-changing yet, but perfectly timed. You might receive a message from someone you haven't heard from in months. These synchronicities are your subconscious mind's way of showing you it's beginning to accept the new frequency. It's testing whether you're paying attention, whether you're ready to receive what you've been asking for. The impact of these small synchronicities cannot be overstated. They serve as feedback from the universe itself, confirming that your internal state is starting to influence your external reality. This is the behind-the-scenes mechanism of manifestation that most people never see because they quit too early. Your energy field is recalibrating, your neural pathways are rewiring, and reality is beginning to respond. But, and this is critical, this is also the danger zone where impatience can destroy everything you've built. Because what happens around day 15 or 16 is the most revealing part of this entire journey. You've done the work for over 2 weeks. You've seen some encouraging signs. Your logical mind starts to relax, thinking the job is done. And paradoxically, this is exactly when most people stop. They convince themselves they've got it figured out now, that they can skip a night or two, or they hit a day where external circumstances make it inconvenient. They're traveling, they're exhausted, they fall asleep watching television. Day 16 is where the real test of commitment reveals itself, not because the practice gets harder, but because your mind tricks you into thinking you no longer need it. If this resonated with you, if something shifted inside you while watching this, go ahead and hit that like button. It helps this reach more people who need it, and it lets me know you're connecting with this work. The hidden truth here is that day 16 through 21 is when your subconscious is on the verge of complete acceptance. The new programming is almost locked in, but it needs those final repetitions to cement itself as your default operating system. This is the moment where your outer reality is preparing to reorganize itself dramatically, where the internal shifts you've been making are about to manifest in tangible, undeniable ways. But you can't see this happening yet. You have to trust the process right when your mind is most tempted to abandon it. The breakthrough you've been working toward is literally days away, but it requires you to keep showing up even when, especially when, it feels like nothing extraordinary is happening. Drop a comment saying, "I won't quit at day 16" if you're recognizing this pattern and committing to push through the critical barrier where most people fall away. Let me be completely honest with you about something that might sound harsh but needs to be said. This practice isn't for everyone. It's not designed to be convenient or easy to fit into your existing routine. If you're looking for a casual technique you can try when you feel like it, something you can experiment with for a few days and then forget about, this isn't it. What we're talking about here demands something most people aren't willing to give: unwavering commitment. Not the kind of commitment where you say, "I'll try my best," or "I'll do it most nights." We're talking about a non-negotiable decision that for the next 21 nights, No matter what happens, no matter how tired you are, no matter what circumstances arise, you will engage with this practice before sleep. This might seem extreme to some people, and that's okay. But here's the reality behind why this level of dedication matters. Your subconscious mind doesn't respond to half-hearted efforts. It doesn't reorganize itself based on occasional input. It requires consistent, repetitive instruction, delivered in the same receptive state, night after night. Think of it like learning a new language or building muscle. You can't go to the gym 3 times one week, skip the next 2 weeks, and expect to see transformation. The same principle applies here, except the stakes are even higher, because you're not just training your body, you're rewiring the very foundation of how you perceive and create reality. The universe operates on precise laws, and one of those laws is that you get out exactly what you put in. You cannot trick this process. You cannot skip day 12 because you had a long day at work and tell yourself it doesn't matter. You cannot miss day 19 because you're traveling and think you'll just add an extra day at the end. It doesn't work that way. Every time you skip, you essentially reset the entire process. Your subconscious needs 21 consecutive impressions to lock in the new programming. Break the chain, and you have to start from day 1 again if you want the full impact of this transformation. I've watched countless people approach this practice with enthusiasm for the first few days, then gradually let it slip. They convince themselves that doing it 5 days a week is good enough, that surely the universe will understand. They're busy, but the universe doesn't grade on a curve. It doesn't give partial credit. The hidden truth is that the universe responds to the signal you're actually transmitting, not the signal you wish you were transmitting. When you commit fully, when you show up every single night without fail, you're sending a powerful message to your subconscious and to the quantum field itself. You're declaring that this transformation matters more than your comfort, more than your excuses, more than your temporary inconveniences. This is where the real separation happens between those who transform their lives and those who keep hoping things will magically change. The journey through these 21 days is a mirror that reflects back your true level of commitment to your own evolution. Every night you show up is a decision that your future self is more important than your current comfort. Every night you follow through despite resistance is you proving to yourself that you're capable of keeping promises, especially the ones you make to yourself. And your subconscious is watching, taking notes, learning whether it can trust you to follow through on what you say you want. Now, I want to go deeper into what actually happens during this practice, the specific mechanics of how you engage with your subconscious mind in those final moments before sleep. Because knowing why commitment matters is one thing, but understanding exactly what to do and how to do it is what transforms knowledge into actual results. Write in the comments, "I'm all in for 21 nights," if you're ready to make this commitment with complete sincerity and follow through no matter what obstacles appear. So let's talk about the actual mechanics of this practice, the specific steps you'll take each night to impress your subconscious mind with the reality you want to create. The beauty of this process is in its simplicity, but don't mistake simplicity for weakness. Some of the most powerful transformations happen through the most straightforward practices. And what I'm about to share with you requires nothing more than your body, your breath, and your willingness to be present with yourself for a few minutes before sleep. The first step is almost laughably simple, yet most people rush through it or skip it entirely. You begin by simply finding a comfortable position in your bed. This isn't about forcing yourself into some rigid meditation posture or sitting cross-legged when your body is exhausted. You're already where you need to be, in bed, ready for sleep. The key is to position yourself in a way that allows your body to completely relax without any strain or discomfort. Maybe that's lying on your back with your arms at your sides. Maybe it's on your side with a pillow between your knees. There's no right or wrong here. The only requirement is that you're comfortable enough to stay still and relaxed. Once you've found that position, you gently close your eyes, not squeezing them shut, not forcing anything, just allowing your eyelids to naturally close, and then something interesting happens if you let it. Your body begins to sink. Not literally, of course, but there's this sensation of heaviness, of gravity, pulling you deeper into the mattress, into the bed, as if you're being held and supported. This sinking feeling is your body's natural response to releasing tension, and all you have to do is allow it. Don't resist it, don't analyze it, just notice it happening. What comes next is where most people's minds want to complicate things, but I need you to resist that urge. You're going to bring your attention to your breath, but here's the crucial part. You're not going to change it. You're not going to breathe deeper or slower or count to 4 on the inhale and 8 on the exhale. None of that. You're simply going to observe your breathing exactly as it is in this moment. This is harder than it sounds because we're so conditioned to fix things, to improve things, to control things. But your breath already knows what to do. It's been keeping you alive your entire life without any conscious effort from you. As you observe, you might notice something beautiful. The air that enters through your nose feels cool, fresh, bringing with it a subtle sense of renewal. And when you exhale, that same air leaves warm, carrying with it the accumulated tension of your day. You're not making this happen. This is just the natural process of breathing that's been occurring whether you paid attention to it or not. But by bringing your awareness to it, you're beginning to shift out of the thinking mind and into the feeling state. This transition is critical because your subconscious doesn't speak in words or logic. It speaks in sensation, in feeling, in the language of the body. The impact of these simple actions, finding comfort, closing your eyes, observing your breath, cannot be understated. This is the foundation upon which everything else builds. You're training your nervous system to recognize this as a sacred transition time, a moment when the demands of the external world no longer have claim over your attention. Each breath becomes a gentle letting go, not just of physical tension, but of the mental chatter, the worries about tomorrow, the replays of today's conversations. With each warm exhalation, you're releasing the grip that the thinking mind has on your consciousness, creating space for something deeper to emerge. This is the behind-the-scenes mechanism that makes everything else possible. Without this initial settling, without this shift from doing to being, the deeper work cannot take root. Your subconscious remains guarded, your body stays tense, and the programming you're trying to install never penetrates past the surface level of conscious thought. But when you approach these opening moments with genuine presence, when you really allow yourself to sink into the simplicity of just being in your body and breathing, you're opening a doorway that's usually locked shut by the constant noise of daily life. Leave a comment with the word breathing if you can feel the power in this simplicity and you're ready to experience what happens when you truly settle into this state. After you've spent a few moments simply observing your natural breath, allowing your body to sink deeper into that state of relaxation, there's a powerful transition that needs to happen. You're going to take 3 intentional breaths, and these are different from the observational breathing you've been doing. These 3 breaths have a specific purpose. They're designed to create a clean break between everything that happened today and the programming you're about to install for tomorrow. The first breath is where you consciously inhale deeply, filling your lungs completely, and then exhale with intention, releasing everything, not just the air in your lungs, but the entire weight of the day. That difficult conversation at work, the traffic that frustrated you, the email you forgot to send, the tension in your shoulders from sitting too long, all of it gets released with this exhale. You're not trying to solve these problems or think through them differently. You're simply acknowledging that they belong to a day that's now over, and you're choosing to let them go. The second breath goes even deeper. You inhale again, filling yourself with fresh possibility, and as you exhale, you're releasing the emotional residue that clings to experiences. The worry about tomorrow's presentation, the anxiety about money, the replaying of an argument from last week. These thought patterns have been running on autopilot in the background of your mind all day. This exhale is your conscious decision to stop feeding them energy. You're not denying they exist. You're simply choosing not to carry them into your sleep state, where they'll program your subconscious for another 8 hours. The third breath is the most powerful because it completes the cycle. One more deep inhalation, and as you release it, you're letting go of your attachment to unfinished business. The project that's not done, the relationship that's complicated, the goal you haven't reached yet. All of these incomplete loops want to keep your mind active, processing, planning, worrying. But this final exhale is you declaring that incompleteness is okay for now. Everything that needs to happen will happen in its own time. And right now, in this moment, you're releasing your grip on control. What happens after these 3 breaths is crucial, and it's where most people either unlock the full power of this practice or completely miss the point. You're going to repeat a specific statement, but not out loud and not mechanically. You're going to say it silently, allowing the words to resonate through your entire being like ripples in still water. The statement is simple but profound. I release all that was. I open myself to all that I am. This isn't just a nice-sounding affirmation. These words create an energetic boundary, a clear line of demarcation between your past identity and the version of yourself that's emerging. When you say, I release all that was, you're acknowledging every version of yourself up until this moment, the one who struggled, who doubted, who made mistakes, who didn't know better. You're releasing that version with gratitude, not with judgment. It brought you here. It taught you everything you needed to learn, but you no longer need to be that person. The second part of the statement, I open myself to all that I am, is where the transformation actually begins. You're not saying, I open myself to what I want to become or what I hope to be. You're declaring that everything you've been searching for already exists within you right now. The abundance, the peace, the confidence, the success. It's not out there somewhere waiting to be found. It's already here, waiting to be recognized and accepted. This statement is your subconscious mind's permission slip to stop seeking and start being. The impact of these words, when delivered in this relaxed state after the 3 intentional breaths, bypasses your critical mind completely. Your subconscious receives them as direct instructions, not suggestions. It begins reorganizing your internal programming around this new truth. And over the course of 21 nights, this reorganization becomes your new default operating system. But the revelation here is that you have to mean it. You can't just repeat words mechanically and expect magic. You have to feel the release, you have to sense the opening, you have to allow yourself to actually let go of who you were and step into who you are. Drop I am ready to let go in the comments if these words are landing in a way that feels true and you're prepared to use them tonight. Once you've spoken those words and allowed them to settle into your consciousness, you're ready to go even deeper. This is where the real magic begins, where your conscious mind, the part of you that analyzes, judges, and controls everything, finally gets to rest. Think of your conscious mind like a security guard that's been on duty for 16 or 17 hours straight, constantly scanning for threats, making decisions, filtering information. It's exhausted, and it's ready to clock out. Your job now is to let it know that it's safe to step aside, that a deeper intelligence is about to take over. This deeper intelligence is your subconscious mind, and it's been waiting patiently for this moment. Unlike your conscious mind, which can only hold a few thoughts at once and gets easily overwhelmed, your subconscious is processing millions of bits of information every second. It's running your heartbeat, regulating your breathing, healing your cells, and storing every experience you've ever had. It knows things your conscious mind has long forgotten. It holds the blueprint of who you truly are beneath all the conditioning and social programming. And right now, in this state of deep relaxation, it's fully receptive to new instructions. The way you communicate with your subconscious isn't through words or logic, it's through sensation and feeling. This is why the next part of the practice involves bringing your awareness to different parts of your body, not to judge or evaluate, but simply to notice and allow. You're going to start with your feet, and here's why this matters more than you might realize. Your feet carry you through life. They hold tension from standing, walking, rushing from place to place. They're often the most neglected part of your body, stuffed into uncomfortable shoes, rarely given conscious attention. But right now, you're going to give them that attention. Bring your awareness down to your feet and just notice them. Don't try to relax them, don't wiggle your toes, just observe. And as you observe, something extraordinary begins to happen. They start to feel heavy, as if they're made of lead or stone. This isn't something you're forcing. It's your body's natural response to receiving conscious attention in a relaxed state. That heaviness is the feeling of muscles releasing, of blood flow increasing, of your nervous system shifting from sympathetic activation into parasympathetic rest. Your feet begin to sink deeper into the mattress, and with that sinking comes a profound sense of letting go. This sensation of heaviness and sinking is your body's way of signaling complete physical surrender. You're not fighting gravity anymore, you're working with it. You're allowing the earth to support you fully, trusting that you don't have to hold yourself up, that you can just be held. This might seem like a small thing, but the impact on your nervous system is significant. When your body feels safe enough to fully relax, it sends a message to your brain that there's no threat, no danger, nothing to defend against. And when your brain receives that message, it begins to shift into the theta brainwave state, the same state accessed during deep meditation or hypnosis. What's happening behind the scenes here is a cascade of neurochemical changes. Stress hormones like cortisol begin to decrease. Feel-good neurotransmitters like serotonin start to increase. Your heart rate slows, your blood pressure drops. And most importantly for our purposes, the barrier between your conscious and subconscious mind becomes thin and permeable. This is the doorway you've been working toward, and it's opening wider with each moment of sustained attention and relaxation. The journey through your body that's about to unfold isn't just about physical relaxation. It's about creating a state of total receptivity where new programming can bypass all your usual mental defenses and install itself at the deepest level of your being. Every part of your body that you bring awareness to and allow to become heavy and relaxed is another lock being opened, another layer of resistance dissolving, another step closer to the state where transformation becomes inevitable. Type "sinking deeper" in the comments if you can feel this. Process beginning just from reading these words, and you're ready to experience it fully tonight. Once that heaviness has settled into your feet, something beautiful begins to happen without any effort on your part. The sensation starts to move upward, like a warm wave of relaxation flowing through your body. Your calves become heavy, releasing the tension from all the walking and standing you've done today. That heaviness moves into your thighs, and you can feel them sinking deeper into the bed, becoming so relaxed that they feel like they're melting into the mattress itself. There's no need to make this happen. Your body knows exactly what to do once you give it permission to let go. The wave continues moving upward through your hips, and you might notice how much tension you've been holding there without even realizing it. The hips are where we store a lot of emotional stress, where we brace ourselves against life's challenges. But right now, in this moment, there's nothing to brace against. Your hips release, soften, and join the rest of your lower body in that state of complete surrender. The heaviness moves into your abdomen, that central core where so many people hold anxiety and worry. Feel how your belly softens, how your breathing deepens naturally as this area releases its grip. Then the sensation reaches your chest, and this is where something profound shifts. Your chest, which has been holding your heart and lungs, working tirelessly all day to keep you alive, finally gets to rest in a deeper way. With each breath, you're sinking further into this state of total relaxation, and every exhalation carries away another layer of physical tension you didn't even know you were carrying. This isn't just physical relaxation. You're releasing the accumulated stress of weeks, months, maybe even years of holding yourself together, keeping it all under control, managing everything. The impact of this progressive release cannot be overstated. Your nervous system is receiving clear feedback that it's safe to fully let go, that there's no emergency to manage, no threat to defend against. This is the hidden truth about transformation. It can't happen while you're in a state of tension and vigilance. Real change requires this kind of deep surrender, this willingness to stop holding on so tightly to everything. Now that wave of heaviness reaches your arms, and they become so relaxed, so completely at ease, that you couldn't move them even if you wanted to. Not because they're paralyzed, but because moving them would require effort. And right now, you're in a state where effort is unnecessary. Your arms are perfectly content to just be, to sink into the bed, to release all the doing and controlling they've been engaged in all day. Your shoulders, which have been carrying the weight of your responsibilities like a physical burden, finally drop and release. You might not have even noticed how high you were holding them until now, when they settle into their natural resting position. Your neck relaxes next, and this is crucial because so much tension accumulates here from looking at screens, from stress, from holding your head in the same position for hours. As your neck releases, your head settles more deeply into the pillow, and you can feel the support beneath you holding you completely. Your jaw softens, and this is one most people don't realize they're clenching until they let it go. The muscles of your face smooth out, your forehead releases its furrows, and your entire face becomes peaceful, serene, like a still pond reflecting the sky. This is the state you've been working toward. You are now in the perfect receptive state, the ideal condition for subconscious programming. Your body is completely relaxed, your conscious mind has stepped aside, and your subconscious is wide open, waiting to receive whatever instructions you're about to give it. This is the doorway that Joseph Murphy spoke about, the threshold between your current reality and the one you're about to create. Everything up until now has been preparation, and now the real work can begin. Comment perfectly relaxed if you can sense how powerful this state is, and you're ready to discover what happens when you impress new programming onto your subconscious from this place of complete receptivity. From this deeply relaxed state, something remarkable begins to unfold. You're standing at a threshold, and I want you to really feel this. You're crossing a bridge right now, not a physical bridge, but an energetic one. On one side of this bridge is every version of yourself you've ever been, the you who struggled to make ends meet, the you who doubted your worth, the you who tried so hard, pushed so much, forced things that weren't ready to happen, the you who stayed up at night worrying about the future, the you who carried other people's expectations like chains. All of these versions are standing on one side of the bridge, and with each breath you're taking another step away from them. This isn't about rejecting who you were or pretending that version never existed. This is about recognizing that every struggle, every doubt, every moment of pushing too hard, they all served a purpose. They taught you what you needed to learn. They brought you to this exact moment, lying here in this state of deep receptivity, ready to transform. That version of you was doing the best it could with the awareness it had at the time. And there's Something powerful about acknowledging that, about looking back across that bridge with genuine gratitude rather than judgment. You can actually feel appreciation for the person you were, even if that person made mistakes, even if they stayed stuck in patterns that didn't serve them. Because without those experiences, without those lessons, you wouldn't have the wisdom you have now. You wouldn't understand at such a deep level why this transformation matters. The old version of you, with all its imperfections and struggles, was the necessary journey to get you here. And now, from this place of understanding, you can release it with love. This release isn't a violent breaking away. It's a gentle letting go, like a parent watching their child leave home. There's sadness mixed with pride, acknowledgement of what was mixed with excitement for what's coming. You're honoring the path you've walked while simultaneously recognizing that you no longer need to walk it. The patterns that kept you safe when you were younger, the beliefs you adopted to make sense of a confusing world, the protective mechanisms that helped you survive difficult times. All of these can be thanked and then released. The hidden truth here is that most people carry their past like a weight, dragging it into every new moment, every new opportunity. They make decisions today based on who they were 5 years ago. They limit themselves based on failures that happened in a completely different chapter of their life. But you're doing something different right now. You're consciously acknowledging that the person who experienced those things is not the person you are becoming. With each breath, you're creating distance between your past identity and your emerging self. This is where real transformation happens, not in denying your history, but in refusing to let it define your future. You're standing in the middle of that bridge, and you can look back with clarity and compassion, seeing how every twist and turn in your journey was bringing you here. And then you turn forward, and on the other side of the bridge, there's a version of you that's been waiting. A version that already has everything you've been seeking, that already is everything you've been trying to become. That version isn't hoping or wishing or struggling, it simply is. The journey across this bridge happens breath by breath. You don't have to force it or rush it. Each exhalation releases another thread connecting you to the old identity. Each inhalation draws you closer to the new one, and your subconscious mind, in this deeply receptive state, is recording this shift as reality. It's not filing this under nice idea or something to try someday. It's accepting this as the truth of who you are right now, in this moment. Leave crossing the bridge in the comments if you can feel this transition happening inside you and you're ready to meet the version of yourself waiting on the other side. As you take those final steps across the bridge, breath by breath, you finally arrive, and there on the other side, standing in this sacred inner space, is the version of you that you've been searching for your entire life. But here's what's so extraordinary about this encounter. This version isn't hoping to become something. It isn't working toward anything. It already is everything. This version of you carries an energy that's completely different from what you're used to. There's no striving, no pushing, no desperation. Just a quiet, unshakable knowing that everything is exactly as it should be. This isn't some distant future version living years from now. This version exists right now, in this very moment, in what quantum physics calls the field of infinite possibilities. Every potential version of you exists simultaneously in this field. The struggling version, the thriving version, the fearful version, the confident version. They're all there, all real, all available. And the one you're meeting right now is the highest expression of who you truly are, beneath all the conditioning and limiting beliefs. This is you, without the story of not being enough, without the fear of failure, without the weight of past disappointments. Now here's where most people make a critical mistake, and I need you to really understand this, because it determines whether this practice transforms your life or becomes just another technique that didn't work. You're not here to visualize this version of yourself. You're not here to create mental images or pictures in your mind. That's still operating from the level of the thinking mind, and the thinking mind is what got you stuck in your current reality in the first place. What I'm asking you to do is far more powerful and far more direct. I want you to feel what it's like to be this version of you. Feel it in your body, in your bones, in your cells. What does it feel like in your chest to be someone who already has everything they desire? There's a specific sensation there, an expansion, a lightness, a sense of fullness that has nothing to do with external circumstances. Can you feel how different your breathing is when you're not chasing anything, when you're not trying to prove anything? There's an ease to it, a natural rhythm that flows without effort. What does it feel like in your solar plexus to carry absolute certainty instead of doubt? There's a warmth there, a steady confidence that doesn't need validation from anyone. This feeling state is everything. Your subconscious mind doesn't respond to words or images. It responds to the frequency you're transmitting through feeling. When you can genuinely feel what it's like to already be abundant, your subconscious begins reorganizing your reality to match that frequency. When you can authentically feel the peace of someone whose desires are already fulfilled, you're sending a signal to the quantum field that collapses the wave of possibility into your actual experience. The impact of this distinction between thinking and feeling cannot be overstated. This is the hidden truth that separates those who manifest consistently from those who just talk about manifestation. Anyone can think positive thoughts. Anyone can create a vision board or repeat affirmations, but to actually embody the feeling of already being what you want to become, that's the real work. That's what rewires your nervous system, recalibrates your energy field, and transforms your reality from the inside out. Right now, in this deeply relaxed state with your subconscious wide open, you have direct access to this feeling. You don't have to imagine it or fake it. You can actually tap into the frequency of your highest self and let it fill every cell of your body. This version of you isn't in the future, it exists now, in this present moment, in the quantum field where all possibilities are alive and available. And the more you feel into this state, the more you're merging with it, becoming it, anchoring it into your physical reality. Type, "I can feel it" in the comments if this distinction is landing and you're beginning to sense the difference between thinking about what you want and actually feeling what it's like to already have it. As you settle deeper into this feeling state, something profound begins to emerge from your very center. It's a peace unlike anything you've experienced in your normal waking consciousness. This isn't the kind of peace that comes from solving all your problems or finally getting what you want. This is the peace of someone who has realized they're already complete, already whole, already everything they need to be. It emanates from somewhere deep inside your chest, radiating outward like ripples from a stone dropped in still water. Can you feel that expansion happening in your chest right now? It's subtle, but unmistakable. A quiet confidence that has nothing to prove and nothing to defend. This is the certainty of someone who simply knows. Not hope, not belief, not faith that requires constant reinforcement, just knowing. The same way you know your own name, the same way you know the sun will rise tomorrow. This version of you doesn't question whether things will work out, because from this state of consciousness, there's a deep understanding that everything is already working out perfectly, even when the external circumstances don't yet reflect it. This knowing creates a shift in your entire physiology. Your breathing deepens and slows. Your heart rate becomes calm and steady. Your facial muscles soften into an expression of serene contentment. Your body recognizes this state because this is your natural state, the one you were born with before the world taught you to worry and strive and prove yourself. You're not learning something new here, you're remembering something ancient and true that's been buried under layers of conditioning. Now I want you to go even deeper into this feeling and notice something else that's happening. Every cell in your body is beginning to vibrate at a different frequency. It's as if each cell is waking up, remembering its true nature. And what is that nature? Abundance. Not the kind of abundance that depends on your bank account or your job title or what other people think of you. This is abundance that springs from within, like an inexhaustible fountain that never runs dry. This is the revelation that changes everything. You are not someone waiting to receive abundance from the outside world. You are abundance itself. It's not something you need to attract or manifest or work harder to deserve. It's what you are at the most fundamental level of your being. The oxygen you breathe is abundant. Your body produces millions of new cells every day. Abundant. Your heart beats without you telling it to. Abundant. Life force flows through you constantly. Abundant. You've been surrounded by and made of abundance your entire life, but your mind was trained to focus on scarcity. From this state of deep relaxation, you can actually feel this truth in your body. There's a warmth, an aliveness, a sense of overflowing fullness that has nothing to do with your external circumstances. This is the frequency that your subconscious is recording right now. This is the signal you're transmitting to the quantum field. And when you fall asleep from this state, when you spend the next 8 hours broadcasting this frequency, your reality has no choice but to reorganize itself to match. The impact of this shift from seeking abundance to being abundance cannot be measured by any external metric. It's an internal revolution that transforms how you move through the world, how you make decisions, how you respond to challenges, how you recognize opportunities. When you know yourself as abundance, scarcity becomes impossible. Not because you deny difficult circumstances, but because you understand at a cellular level that you contain within yourself everything you need. Comment: I am abundance. If you're feeling this shift happening right now, if you can sense the difference between trying to get abundance and recognizing that you already are it. Along with this feeling of abundance coursing through your cells, notice what's happening in your mind. There's a clarity here that's different from your usual mental state. Your thoughts aren't racing from one worry to the next. There's no mental chatter analyzing and reanalyzing every situation. Instead, there's a crystalline clearness, like looking through perfectly clean water and seeing all the way to the bottom. And within this clarity lives something even more powerful: certainty. This certainty isn't based on evidence or proof or logical reasoning. It's not the kind of certainty that comes from calculating odds or measuring probabilities. This is the certainty that what is yours by divine right is already on its way to you. Not might be, not hopefully will be, but is, right now. Moving toward you at exactly the right speed, arriving at exactly the right time. You don't need to track it or worry about it or figure out how it's going to happen. You simply know. What's remarkable about this knowing is the complete absence of anxiety. There's no urgency, no desperate need for things to happen faster. When you truly know something is yours, when you understand at this deep level that the universe is conspiring in your favor, there's nothing to rush toward. You can breathe, you can relax, you can enjoy this present moment without constantly leaning into the future, trying to force outcomes that haven't ripened yet. This is the hidden truth about manifestation that most people miss. The energy of desperate wanting actually pushes away what you desire, while the energy of calm certainty draws it to you effortlessly. From this state of clarity and certainty, something extraordinary is happening that you can't see but can absolutely feel. Your energy field, that electromagnetic signature that extends beyond your physical body, is reorganizing itself right now. This isn't metaphorical or symbolic. This is actual physics. Everything in the universe, including you, is energy vibrating at different frequencies. And right now, as you embody these feelings of peace, abundance, and certainty, your frequency is shifting. Every single atom in your body is responding to this shift. At the quantum level, the very particles that make up your physical form are beginning to vibrate at a new frequency. The frequency of success, the frequency of fullness, the frequency of unconditional love, the frequency of fulfilled purpose. These aren't just nice concepts, they're actual vibrational states that can be measured and felt. Your heart is generating an electromagnetic field that extends several feet beyond your body, and that field is being recalibrated right now to match this new internal state. This is the behind-the-scenes transformation that most people never experience because they never get into. This deeply receptive state before sleep. They never allow themselves to feel this profoundly, to sink this completely into the truth of who they really are. But you're doing it right now, and your subconscious mind is recording every sensation, every frequency, every vibration as your new baseline. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, you won't wake up as the same person who went to sleep tonight. You'll wake up as someone whose entire energetic signature has been retuned. The impact of this quantum reorganization ripples out into every area of your life. The way you speak will change because your frequency has changed. The opportunities you notice will change because you're now broadcasting a different signal. The people you attract will change because like frequencies naturally find each other. Your entire reality is about to shift, not because you forced it to, but because you changed at the most fundamental level, the level of energy and vibration. Right, my frequency is shifting. In the comments, if you can feel this reorganization happening, if you sense that something fundamental is changing inside you right now. As this quantum reorganization continues, your subconscious mind is doing something that will change everything about how you experience reality going forward. It's recording this frequency, this feeling state, this new vibrational signature like a hard drive, permanently saving new programming. This isn't temporary. This isn't something you're trying on for size. Your subconscious is accepting this as your new default setting, the baseline from which you'll operate from this moment forward. This is the crucial distinction that most people miss when they're working with manifestation or personal transformation. They think of change as something that happens in the future. I will be abundant, I will be confident, I will be successful. But your subconscious mind doesn't work in future tense. It only knows now. And right now, in this deeply receptive state, you're not programming yourself to become something. You're declaring what you already are. This is you. Not the you that you're working toward, but the you that exists right now beneath all the conditioned beliefs and limiting patterns. The hidden truth here is that you've always been this version of yourself. You just forgot. The world taught you to identify with your circumstances, with your past failures, with other people's opinions about who you should be. But none of that is your true identity. Your true identity is this: whole, complete, abundant, powerful, certain. And your subconscious is locking this truth in right now as you lie here feeling it in every cell of your body. Now I want you to become aware of your breathing again, but this time with a deeper understanding of what's happening with each breath. Every inhalation you take is doing more than just bringing oxygen into your lungs. It's anchoring this new identity deeper into your nervous system. With each breath in, you're drawing this frequency of abundance and certainty further into your physical body, weaving it into the very fabric of who you are. Your nervous system is learning a new pattern, creating new neural pathways that will make this state of being automatic rather than something you have to consciously create. And every exhalation is releasing whatever remains of the old programming. Each breath out carries away lingering doubt, residual fear, habitual limitation. You're breathing out the belief that you're not enough, the story that success is for other people, the pattern of waiting for permission to claim what's yours. These old programs have been running in the background for years, maybe decades, But they're leaving now with each exhalation. You're not fighting them or resisting them. You're simply breathing them out, letting them go with the same ease that your body releases carbon dioxide. This breathing pattern creates a powerful rhythm of transformation. Inhale certainty, exhale limitation. Inhale your true self, exhale everything you're not. Inhale the frequency of your highest expression. Exhale the accumulated conditioning of a lifetime. With each cycle, the new becomes stronger and the old becomes fainter, until eventually the old pattern doesn't even register anymore. It's like tuning a radio. As you fine-tune to the new frequency, the static of the old one fades into silence. The impact of this breath-by-breath integration is profound. You're not just thinking about change or hoping for transformation, you're literally breathing your new identity into existence, anchoring it so deeply into your neurology that it becomes as automatic as your heartbeat. This is the journey from intellectual understanding to embodied truth, from knowing something in your head to living it in every cell of your being. Type "breathing my truth" in the comments if you can feel this process happening, if you sense that with each breath, you're becoming more solid, more certain, more aligned with who you truly are. As you continue breathing in this rhythm, anchoring your new identity with each cycle, I want you to understand what's about to happen over the next 8 hours while you sleep. Your conscious mind, the part of you that's been following along with these words, is about to rest. It's going to shut down completely, stepping aside for the night. But your subconscious mind never sleeps. It's always active, always working, always processing. And tonight, while your body rests, your subconscious is going to do something extraordinary. For the next 8 hours, it's going to work tirelessly on your behalf, taking everything you've impressed upon it in this deeply receptive state and making it real at the most fundamental levels of your being. It's going to reorganize neural connections, creating new pathways in your brain that support this new identity. Old thought patterns that kept you stuck will be weakened, and new patterns aligned with abundance and certainty will be strengthened. Synapses will fire together in new combinations, literally rewiring how you think without any conscious effort from you. Your subconscious will also adjust your energy field throughout the night, fine-tuning the frequency you're broadcasting to match the state you've entered tonight. This recalibration happens at the cellular level. Your DNA receives new instructions. Your cells begin operating from a different blueprint. Your entire biology shifts to support the version of yourself you've embodied in these moments before sleep. This is transformation happening in the background while you dream, while you rest, while you're completely unaware of the profound changes taking place. But there's something even deeper we need to explore, a dimension of reality that most people never access, because they never get into this profoundly relaxed state. I want to take you now beyond your physical body, beyond your personal energy field, into what quantum physics calls the unified field. Think of it as an infinite ocean of pure possibility, a realm where every potential reality exists simultaneously. This isn't mystical imagination. This is the fundamental nature of the universe, described by the most advanced physics we have. In this unified field, there's no separation between you and what you desire. There's no distance between who you are now and who you want to become. Everything exists in a state of pure potential, waiting for consciousness to observe it and collapse it into physical reality. The version of you living in abundance, the timeline where your desires are already fulfilled, the reality where you're healthy and successful and deeply at peace, all of these exist right now in this field. Not as distant possibilities that might happen someday, but as actual, real, accessible states of being. This is where the real magic happens, where you transcend the limitations of linear time and physical space. From this unified field, you can access any version of yourself, any timeline, any reality. And the way you access it isn't through force or effort or complicated techniques. You access it through frequency. The state you've cultivated tonight, this feeling of peace, abundance, certainty, is a frequency. And that frequency acts like a tuning fork, resonating with the matching reality in the quantum field and beginning to draw it into your physical experience. Joseph Murphy understood this decades before quantum physics could explain it. He knew that consciousness creates reality, that the state you fall asleep in determines the life you wake up to. And now, from this deeply relaxed state with your subconscious wide open, you're about to merge with the highest version of yourself that exists in this infinite field of possibilities. Comment, I'm entering the field if you can sense this expansion happening. If you feel yourself moving beyond the boundaries of your usual limited perception into something vast and unlimited. From this state of deep relaxation and expanded awareness, I want you to allow something to happen that might feel unusual at first, but trust the process completely. Your consciousness, that awareness of being aware, can gently lift, not your physical body, but your awareness itself. Feel it beginning to rise, as if you're becoming lighter than air, floating upward out of your physical form. Your body remains perfectly relaxed and safe on the bed, but your consciousness is free to explore dimensions beyond the physical. You rise higher, passing through the ceiling as if it were made of mist. There's no resistance, no barrier. You continue ascending into the night sky, and you can sense the vastness opening up around you. The stars above, the earth below, and you suspended between them, pure consciousness experiencing itself without the limitations of flesh and bone. You rise higher still, beyond the clouds that drift through. The atmosphere, beyond the blue sky that you see during the day, beyond the very atmosphere itself, until you enter a space that most people never consciously experience. This space appears as darkness at first, but it's not empty darkness. It's alive with potential, humming with infinite possibility. This is the cosmic womb where all realities are born, where every outcome, every timeline, every version of existence waits in a state of pure potentiality. You're in the quantum field now, the unified field where the normal rules of space and time don't apply, where everything that could ever be already exists in some form. As your awareness adjusts to this realm, something extraordinary becomes visible. You can perceive infinite versions of yourself, each one living out a different reality, each one the result of different choices, different beliefs, different frequencies. There's the version of you still struggling, still stuck in old patterns. There's the version that gave up on their dreams. There's the version that played it safe and lived with regret. But these aren't the versions that call to you. These aren't the timelines you're here to merge with. Your attention is drawn to something else entirely, something that stands out from all the other possibilities. There, glowing with a radiant golden light, is the version of you that has everything you've been seeking. This version isn't just successful in one area, it's living in complete alignment. Health radiating from every cell, abundance flowing naturally without effort, relationships filled with genuine love and respect, purpose clear and fulfilling, peace that runs so deep it's unshakable. This version of you isn't hoping or wishing or trying to manifest anything because it already is everything. The hidden truth revealed in this moment is profound. This isn't a fantasy or a visualization exercise. This version of you is as real as the version reading these words right now. It exists in the quantum field of infinite possibilities, and the only thing that determines which version you experience in your physical reality is the frequency you consistently transmit. The struggling version and the abundant version both exist simultaneously. The fearful version and the confident version are both real, and you get to choose which one you merge with through the state of consciousness you maintain. This golden version of you sees you now, recognizes you, and something passes between you, an acknowledgement that you've finally found each other across the infinite field of possibilities. It's been waiting for you. And now you're here, ready to complete the merge that will transform your physical reality. Right? I see my highest self in the comments. If you can feel the presence of this version of you, if you sense that it's real and available and ready to become your lived experience, with the intention that only your consciousness can generate, you move toward this golden version of yourself. There's no hesitation, no doubt, because you recognize this is who you've always been, beneath the layers of conditioning and limitation. As you approach, the distance between you dissolves until you're standing in the same space, occupying the same point in this infinite field. And then, with a simple allowing, you merge. It's not a collision or a dramatic event. It's more like two waves becoming one, two streams of water flowing together into a single current. You blend completely, seamlessly, and in that blending, something extraordinary happens. The frequency that this golden version has been transmitting becomes your frequency. Not similar to yours, not close to yours, but literally yours. The certainty it carries becomes your certainty. The abundance it embodies becomes your abundance. The peace, the power, the purpose, all of it transfers in this moment of complete integration. What's remarkable is that there are no longer two separate versions trying to come together. There's just one unified self that contains everything you've been seeking. The searching is over because the seeker and the sought have become the same. This is the transformation that happens beyond the level of mind, beyond the realm of effort. You're not trying to become this version. You are this version. The merge is complete, total, irreversible. And now, carrying this integrated wholeness, you begin to descend. Slowly, gently, you move back through the infinite field, back through the cosmic darkness that holds all possibilities. You descend through space, through the vast expanse between the stars, and you enter Earth's atmosphere. But you're not the same consciousness that rose up from your bed. You're returning as the integrated version, carrying the frequency of your highest self back into physical form. You descend through the night sky, through the clouds, through the ceiling of your room, and you hover for just a moment above your physical body lying peacefully on the bed. Your body looks different to you now, even though it hasn't moved. You can sense that it's ready, that it's been waiting for this return. And then, with the same gentle allowing that allowed the merge, you settle back into your physical form. The impact of this return is immediate and profound. Your body receives this new frequency like a tuning fork receiving a vibration. Every cell begins to recalibrate, adjusting to match the frequency you're now transmitting. Your DNA, that blueprint that determines everything from your health to your longevity, begins receiving new instructions. Genes that support vitality, abundance, and well-being activate. Patterns that were keeping you stuck in limitation begin to deactivate. Your entire biology is reorganizing itself to align with this higher version you've merged with. This isn't happening in your imagination. This is actual physical transformation occurring at the molecular level. Your nervous system is resetting to a new baseline. Your heart is synchronizing to a different rhythm. Your brain is forming new neural pathways that will make this elevated state your new normal. The body that will wake up tomorrow morning will be fundamentally different from the one that laid down tonight, even though the changes are happening so subtly, so naturally, that you might not consciously notice them at first. But you will notice the effects. The way you respond to challenges will change. The opportunities you notice will change. The energy you bring into every interaction will change, because you're no longer operating from the old frequency. You're broadcasting the signal of your highest self, and reality has no choice but to respond to that signal. Leave "I am transformed" in the comments if you can feel this recalibration happening in your body right now. If you sense that something fundamental has shifted at the deepest level of your being, now that you've returned to your physical body carrying this higher frequency, something truly remarkable is happening at the most fundamental level of your biology. Your DNA, that intricate code that determines every aspect of your physical existence, is receiving new instructions right now. This isn't metaphorical. Epigenetics has shown us that gene expression can change based on your mental and emotional state, based on the frequency you're transmitting. And in this deeply receptive state, with your subconscious fully open and your energy field recalibrated, your DNA is responding. Genes that have been dormant, genes that code for vitality and robust health, are beginning to activate. Genes associated with creativity, with innovative thinking, with the ability to see solutions where others see only problems. These are switching on. The genetic expressions that support abundance, that allow you to recognize and receive prosperity in all its forms, are coming online. Your body is literally reorganizing itself at the cellular level to match the identity you've claimed tonight. At the same time, genes that have been keeping you stuck are being deactivated. The genetic patterns associated with limitation, with scarcity consciousness, with the belief that you have to struggle for everything, these are being switched off. Expressions linked to chronic doubt, to the habit of self-sabotage, to the tendency to reject good things when they come your way, these are being silenced. Your biology is aligning with your new identity, and this alignment is happening right now as you lie here in this state of complete receptivity. This is the hidden mechanism behind transformation that most people never access. They try to change their external circumstances while their biology is still programmed for the old reality. But you're doing it the other way around. You're changing at the deepest level first, and your external reality will have no choice but to reorganize itself to match this internal shift. This is working with the actual laws of how reality operates rather than fighting against them. Now, as this biological reprogramming continues, there's one more crucial step that completes this practice and allows everything you've impressed upon your subconscious to take root without interference from your conscious mind. You're going to take 3 more intentional breaths, and each one has a specific purpose that seals this transformation. Take the first deep breath now, filling your lungs completely, and as you exhale, release all need to control how or when your desires manifest. This is the breath of surrender to the mystery, the acknowledgement that you don't need to micromanage the universe. Your job is to hold the frequency, and the universe's job is to deliver the results. Let go of trying to figure out the path. Let go of forcing specific outcomes. Let go of the exhausting need to orchestrate every detail. Just breathe it all out and trust. The second breath comes now, another full inhalation. And with this exhalation, you're releasing any doubt about timing. You're choosing to trust completely in perfect divine timing. The understanding that everything arrives exactly when you're ready to receive it, not a moment too soon or too late. Sometimes what looks like delay is actually protection or preparation. Breathe out the impatience, breathe out the frustration with the pace of change, and settle into absolute trust that the timing of your life is unfolding with precision. The third and final breath draws in one more time, and as you release it, you're surrendering fully to the perfect design that's already in motion. You're acknowledging that there's an intelligence far greater than your conscious mind, orchestrating your life. And that intelligence knows things you don't know, sees connections you can't see, and is arranging circumstances in ways that will benefit you beyond what you can currently imagine. This final exhale is your complete letting go into the flow of life itself. Comment: I surrender to the design If these 3 breaths have landed and you feel the profound relief of finally releasing control and trusting the process completely, after those 3 breaths of surrender, there's a statement that needs to settle into your consciousness. Words that will anchor everything you've experienced tonight into unshakable knowing. Say these words silently to yourself, allowing them to resonate through every layer of your being. I trust completely. I surrender to the imperfect design. What is mine by divine right is already on its way and comes to me effortlessly at the perfect time, in the perfect way. Let these words sink in, not as something you're trying to convince yourself of, but as a simple statement of truth. You trust completely because you've merged with the version of yourself that already knows how this story ends. You surrender to the perfect design because you've touched the intelligence that's orchestrating your life, and you recognize it's far wiser than your limited conscious mind. What is yours by divine right isn't something you need to earn or deserve. It's already yours, already in motion, already finding its way to you through the path of least resistance. The power of this declaration is in its finality. You're not saying, I hope, or I wish, or maybe if I'm good enough. You're stating what is, and your subconscious in this deeply receptive state receives this declaration as an instruction manual for how to operate going forward. This becomes the lens through which you interpret everything that happens in your life. Challenges become redirections. Delays become divine timing. Closed doors become protection from wrong paths. Everything serves the perfect design. As this truth settles into your consciousness, notice what's happening in your body, in your energy field, in the very atmosphere around you. There's a peace flooding through you now, and it's unlike any peace you've experienced before. This isn't the peace that comes from having all your problems solved or getting everything you want. This is a peace that surpasses all understanding, a peace that exists independent of circumstances. It's the peace of knowing, with every fiber of your being, that everything is perfectly fine exactly as it is. This peace carries a profound revelation. There's nothing to chase. The desperate pursuit of goals and dreams that's been driving you for so long can finally rest. You don't need to force outcomes or push rivers or make things happen through sheer willpower. All of that effort was coming from a place of not enough, from a belief that you had to earn your good through struggle. But now you understand the hidden truth that Joseph Murphy spent his life teaching. You don't create abundance through effort. You allow it through alignment. There's nothing to chase because what's yours is already seeking you. There's nothing to force because the universe is conspiring in your favor. There's only being and allowing, holding this frequency you've cultivated tonight and trusting that reality will reorganize itself around it. This is the ultimate paradox. The moment you stop chasing is the moment everything starts flowing to you. The instant you release the need to control is when divine orchestration takes over and does in moments what years of struggle couldn't accomplish. This peace you're feeling right now is your natural state. It's who you are when you strip away all the conditioning that taught you to worry and strive and prove yourself. Your body recognizes this state because this is what you were designed for, to live in flow, in trust, in alignment with the intelligence that created you. Every cell is sighing with relief, finally able to relax into the certainty that you're supported, guided, and moving toward your highest good, even when you can't see the entire path. Type, I feel the peace in the comments. If this state of complete trust and surrender is landing in your being, if you can feel the relief of finally letting go and allowing life to flow through you rather than constantly fighting against it. Now, as you rest in this profound peace, feeling the complete surrender and trust flowing through every part of you, it's time to allow yourself to drift into sleep. I'm going to count down from 5 to 1, and with each number, you'll sink deeper into the state where your subconscious can do its most powerful work. You don't need to hold on to consciousness anymore. You can completely let go, knowing that everything you've experienced tonight is locked in, permanent, irreversible. 5. Your subconscious mind has received every instruction, every frequency, every feeling state you've impressed upon it tonight. It's storing all of this permanently, not as temporary data that might be erased, but as fundamental programming that becomes the new foundation of who you are. The recording is complete. The new blueprint has been accepted. And now your subconscious takes over, beginning the behind-the-scenes work that will transform your reality while you sleep. 4. For the next 8 hours, while your body rests and your conscious mind dreams, your subconscious will be reorganizing your energy field at levels you can't even consciously perceive. It's adjusting your electromagnetic signature, fine-tuning the frequency you broadcast into the world, recalibrating your entire vibrational state to match the version of yourself you merged with tonight. This isn't something you need to monitor or control. It happens automatically, effortlessly, as naturally as your heart beating or your lungs breathing. 3. The cellular and neural recalibration is beginning right now. Every cell in your body is receiving updated instructions. Neurons are forming new connections, creating pathways that support your new identity. Old patterns that kept you stuck are being dissolved at the neurological level. Your entire nervous system is resetting to a new baseline, one that operates from abundance instead of scarcity, from certainty instead of doubt, from trust instead of fear. This transformation is happening at the deepest level of your biology, ensuring that when you wake up, you won't just think differently, you'll be different too. When you wake up tomorrow morning, and I want you to really hear this, you will literally be a different person. Not metaphorically, not kind of different, but fundamentally transformed at the cellular level. You'll be transmitting a completely new frequency, one that reality has never received from you before. And because reality always responds to the frequency you're broadcasting, the circumstances, opportunities, and synchronicities that show up in your life tomorrow will be different. People will respond to you differently because they're picking up on this new signal you're transmitting. You might not consciously notice all the changes at first, but they'll be there. Undeniable, real. One drift off now, deeply and peacefully, letting go of any last thread of conscious control. You can completely surrender to sleep, knowing with absolute certainty that the universe is working in your favor every single moment of this night. While you dream, while you rest, your transformation is unfolding at levels far beyond your conscious awareness. The quantum field is responding to the new frequency you've claimed. Your DNA is expressing itself differently. Your neural pathways are being rewired, and when morning comes, you'll open your eyes as the version of yourself you've been seeking all along. Write "ready for transformation" in the comments if you're about to use this practice tonight and you're committed to experiencing the full 21-day journey that will reorganize your entire reality from the inside out. Before you drift completely into sleep, there are specific statements of truth that need to penetrate the deepest layers of your subconscious mind. You're in the perfect state of receptivity right now, so these declarations will bypass your critical mind entirely and install themselves as unshakable knowing. Don't repeat these with effort or force, simply receive them with your whole being, allowing each one to sink into your consciousness like a stone dropping into still water, creating ripples that reach every corner of your awareness. I am infinite abundance, manifesting in human form. Feel the truth of this statement. You're not trying to become abundant. You are abundance itself, expressing through a physical body. Every breath you take is abundant. Every cell dividing and renewing is abundant. Life force flows through you in endless supply. This is your true nature, and your subconscious is accepting this truth right now as the foundation of your new identity. I am absolute certainty walking the earth. There's no room for doubt in this declaration. You know what you know, and what you know is that your desires are already fulfilled in the quantum field and are making their way into physical form. This certainty isn't arrogance, it's alignment with truth. You carry this knowing in your bones, in your blood, in the very structure of your being. I am inevitable success expressing itself through me. Success isn't something that might happen if you work hard enough or get lucky. Success is what you are. Every action you take from this new frequency leads to successful outcomes because you've become a vibrational match for success itself. Failure becomes impossible when you're operating from this level of consciousness. These statements aren't aspirations or hopes, they're declarations of what is true right now, in this moment, in the deepest reality of who you are. And as you drift deeper into sleep, these truths will continue to play through your subconscious mind in a continuous loop, reinforcing themselves over and over throughout the night. While you dream, while you move through different stages of sleep, these affirmations will be quietly, persistently rebuilding your internal programming. The beauty of this continuous loop is that it works with the natural rhythms of your sleep cycle. Your subconscious never rests, never stops processing. And tonight, instead of processing worry and stress and limitation like it usually does, it's going to process these elevated truths. Abundance as your natural state, not as something you're chasing, but as what you are. Prosperity flowing without resistance, moving through your life as naturally as water flows downhill. Perfect health vibrating in every cell, your body remembering its innate capacity for wellness and vitality. Throughout the night, these frequencies will reinforce themselves. Unconditional love radiating naturally from your core, not as something you have to earn or prove worthy of, but as your essential nature. Deep, unshakable peace that nothing can disturb. A peace so rooted in truth that external circumstances lose their power to throw you off balance. With each cycle through these affirmations, they become more deeply embedded, more permanent, more real. This is the hidden mechanism that makes the 21-day protocol so powerful. Each night builds on the previous night. Each repetition strengthens the neural pathways. Each loop through these truths makes them more automatic, more natural, until one day you realize you're not even thinking about abundance or success or peace. You're simply being it. The transformation has become so complete that your old way of operating seems like a distant memory, something that happened to a different person in a different lifetime. The impact of this continuous reinforcement cannot be overstated. You're essentially running a program through your subconscious mind for 8 hours straight, every night, for 21 nights. That's 168 hours of focused reprogramming. No wonder reality reorganizes itself. No wonder synchronicities start appearing. No wonder your entire life begins to shift in ways that seem almost miraculous to people who don't understand the mechanics of what you're doing. Leave programming complete in the comments if you can feel these truths settling into your subconscious and you're ready to let them loop through your mind all night, every night, for the full 21-day journey. So there you have it, the complete practice that will transform your reality over the next 21 nights if you commit to it fully. You now understand why the moments before sleep are so powerful, why most people waste this sacred window, and exactly how to use it to reprogram your subconscious mind at the deepest level. This isn't theory or philosophy. This is a practical, proven method that works with the actual mechanics of how your mind and the quantum field operate together. If you've made it all the way to the end of this video, you're clearly serious about transformation. You're not someone who just consumes content for entertainment. You're actually looking for tools that work, practices that create real change, and that tells me you're exactly the kind of person who should be part of this community. So if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because we dive deep into these transformative practices regularly. No fluff, no surface-level motivation, just real techniques that produce real results. And listen, if this resonated with you, if you can feel that something shifted just from absorbing this information, hit that like button. It helps more people find this content, and honestly, it lets me know that what we're doing here matters to you. These aren't just videos, they're tools for people who are ready to take their transformation seriously. Before you go, drop a comment saying, "This message was meant for me," if you made it all the way through. I want to know who's actually committing to the 21 days, who's ready to do this work for real. Your comment creates accountability, and it also reminds you tomorrow night, when you're about to skip that, you made a public commitment to yourself. There's a video right here that goes even deeper into how Joseph Murphy's techniques work with the subconscious mind. It's the perfect complement to what we covered today. Click and continue with me over there, because the journey you started tonight deserves to go further. Sleep well tonight. You've got work to do.